Hey everyone. Up. Okay, let me just. Okay, up. Sorry, I just had some audio behind. So hi everyone, welcome for the first Hydrogen Aerospace Live. So I will try to ask your question today, and I will also show you our rocket, and we will talk a little more about it. Because my pitch was 3 minutes long and no second more. I will talk a lot about our rocket, and if you have questions, feel free to ask. Really, I will answer all your questions. Sorry if I didn't answer your question on Twitter. In fact, I was talking with some friends or CEO, and my phone just because of your notification. So again, thanks for your support. Let me just refresh that. So I will just start by saying thanks for today, for all the people that come to see me and talk with me, journalists, space CEO, space employees. It means a lot, and your support was awesome. Also, sorry if you hear some noise or people behind me. I'm in a hotel right now because I didn't live in Paris, and of course because I don't like Paris. So sorry. I hope the network will be stable. Let's pray. So yes. So for all your questions, I will answer them after the pitch. So basically, I will just introduce our rocket with the same PowerPoint, even if it's not PowerPoint, like I do in front of the jury. So for people that missed our tweet, maybe I tweeted that, but we were not selected. But again, thanks for the kind jury of CNES, Preligence, Euroconsult, and Paris Eclé Hardware Accelerator, and Incube Alliance. Sorry. Because in fact, you know, I'm only 29 years old since 1 week, and they were very surprised by how hydrogen was made by only 1% at that time, and for that long for that young age, oh, I was good in oh well. So again, thanks to the jury, thanks to all the people I met. If you have some question or inquiries that are relative to business, or you are a journalist, space CEO, or etc., just tweet me a message on my Twitter and I will give you my email. So we will start by our first document. Sorry. So let's dive right in. Again, I'm not on my Windows, so it's a little bit difficult. I'm on my Mac, and Mac is not well made for streaming. Okay, I will just open the chat in a new window, and let's go. So if this is well done and it's not well done, sorry. Okay, let me just fix that. So I will ask some of your questions. Again, if the audio if the audio is not working well, tell me. Sorry. So tell us about your engine. What type? Open, closed cycle. So it's not a closed cycle. It's not an open cycle because we have an electric turbopump. So we will not waste any propellant on it. Regarding the third stage and large fairing, is the third stage placed partially inside the fairing? Yes, so basically our kick stage will be placed in the fairing like Electron or maybe let's launcher with orbiter, I think. So it's a kick stage, that's why I called it the kick stage and its name. Okay, so let me just configure the screen share. It's not my first live, I swear, but it's difficult as I'm not at home. Okay, so it should work. Great, so I will just add my camera, so if you... No, it's not Adara. Adara is a dead rocket right now. Perfect, up. Poof. And... Oh. I swear, I prepared this live before with all the scene and... Okay, great. So let's go. So one launch animation. So I wanted to work on do my own launch animation, but I don't have the computer, I think, to render this. I would love to hear a bit about the company. Yes, I will talk about that. What ESP, I will talk also about this. How many people are you working on this project? So I will also talk about this. So let's go. So I will check on my computer. Did you see right now? I will talk about on if everything is right, you see a black screen. So I started my pitch with a video, and this is this video. That's a good entrance. So here is just me introducing, so I'm founder and CEO, so that's not important. So I will just start by why we are doing hydrogen. So in the pitch I said that it's because I do coding since I'm 12 and because I like also electronic boards. And so I wanted to do a CubeSat like everybody else on Earth. And the cost, and it costs a lot to launch. So I just wanted to see if how much it will cost me to launch this CubeSat into space, and it was nearly 1 million euros, even with Rocket Lab or etc. So I was somehow shocked because we have a lot of platforms in development, a lot of rockets, and the price is still very high. So I think we can do better in that market. I will just raise my screen. I will. Why don't you ask some external people to apprend those animation? Because I don't know external people that will want to do a big animation for free. But in fact, I already have the music of the animation. And yes, also, and bonjour Whitney. And yeah, Lucas was very kind to do this rocket render. A very warm and thank you to him, really. it means a lot. And so why I also do hydrogen, I didn't say that in my pitch, but it's because, you know, in Europe, all people are like, okay, we don't have crewed spacecraft, we don't send our own rover, we are just late. If you compare US and European, you know, new space, the new space trend was maybe 10 years ago, and right now we are just in it in France and here in Europe. So yes, we are late, but I think we can make people dreams in Europe too. That's not because I hate US. I love US. In fact, I'm maybe the most US fan, sorry, in the room. But yeah, in fact, hydrogen, one of the key features of hydrogen is to be worldwide. And I will explain this later. So yeah, I was somehow sad because I also have some lucky friends that are on engineering school to work on rockets, and I was sad because they do satellite during their lesson, and they can't launch them in orbit because it costs a lot. So it's why I do hydrogen, to resume, it's to have a lot more civil science mission satellite being launched. We have also a military race. It's not only the US Space Force, we also have the French Space Force that was funded maybe 2 months after the US one. And so that's why and to help students start up, because in fact, you know what, to come back to this CubeSat story, you have now a trend for dedicated dedicated CubeSat launcher. But right now, you know, if I'm a CubeSat builder, I don't care at all if it's a dedicated launch. I just want my thing from my CubeSat to be launched in space. So that's why. And I will also start with that number. So right now we have a big trend because we will have 4 more satellites in orbit within 10 years, according to our Euroconsult report. And fun fact, this slide was made before, in May maybe. And in fact, Euroconsult was in the jury, and it was totally not, it was random. So it was fun to quote them, but they are a big leader in market study also. So sorry, if I didn't answer your question, I will answer them later. Also, so this is our rocket. So what you see here is a 2-stage rocket. So I didn't. Okay, so you have from the engine to the hydrogen logo with the little planet. It's all the interstage, and then you have the second stage, and then you have a big fairing. So this rocket is for engine. Why not 5? It's because I think it's the best way. We want to do a big engine. You know, when I think about this rocket, I was like, okay, should we place 9 engine or just 4? And it's in fact for cost reduction that we do only for engine. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry for the big pop. So yeah, and you have this second stage. So in fact, the first stage and engine and the second stage engine are the same. And in the fairing, you have a kick stage. So we plan to recover or reuse the first stage and the fairing. So we will recover the fairing with parachute, and for the first stage, by parachute or propulsive landing. So it's in total a 6-engine rocket, so 4 engines on the first stage, 1 engine on the second stage, and 1 engine in the kick stage. So how tall wide is it? So it's a 2.5 meters diameter, if I am correct. Sorry, didn't see the dimension since a lot because I had exam and was stuck in Paris. But this rocket is more taller than Vega. That's what I can tell you. I will not reveal its length because it's a technical detail, and in fact, we are still in a technical study. So right now we are unveiling our concept, what we want, the key thing of our rocket. But this rocket will maybe have a more bigger second stage or more little first stage. So it will depend. 5 love engine, 1 launch engine. Yes, that's why, Jerry. That's it, Jerry. And then so this is why we are using electric turbopumps on this. I will explain because some people, yes, it's a technical challenge to have powerful electric turbopumps that with big. Does the kickstage have a name? No. And in fact, I don't have a name for our rocket engine right now. Maybe some in my head, but don't know yet. And so it's a technical challenge to do this electric methane turbopumps because they will need to spin a lot in terms of run per minute. But I think we can do it really. And why we are using methane and electric turbopumps. So electric turbopumps are great for because it's electronic. It's not a mechanical process, it's electronic. So you can easily decrease your throttle without so in fact, with that engine, you can deep throttling, and it's a very cool feature for when you talk about propulsive landing. And it's also great for accuracy in orbit. And also, so if this rocket land propulsively, we will only use 2 engines with a minimum throttle. But our goal is to recover it. Engine, yeah. So our goal is to recover this rocket by parachute. But you know, when I do something, I always have plan A, plan B, plan C, you know. Because if one fail, I have backup plans. You know, SpaceX tried to recover their rocket by parachute, and they never succeeded. And a rocket of this size is big, so we will see, but in fact, maybe we will fail at recover it by parachute. So that's why we are currently work on 2 methods to recover it. And in fact, maybe we can even do both methods depending on the launch location. If maybe you are on in the middle of nowhere, let's say in Kazakhstan, will never happen. But in Kazakhstan, I can recover my rocket by parachute. But if I'm on a dedicated launch pad, I can recover it by a landing pad. So we can also use the 2 methods, but it's very high technical. SpaceX used parachute with Falcon 1 buggy. Yeah. So that's why I'm very that's why we do both method. It's because if one fail, we have another method, and so that's why. In fact, if we want to recover this rocket by parachute, we don't have a big modification to do in our rocket. But if we want to recover it from propulsive landing, it's more hard. You have to make your first stage engine restartable. So I know for the Rutherford, they are restartable, but they need to purge the combustion chamber, and you have to think about all this. So already design this already for propulsive landing will just be a big pros for us. So yeah, I really hope we will do it by parachute. I know that you love propulsive landing. I love propulsive landing, but it's you know, if you do propulsive landing, you will cut a lot your payload to your payload too, basically. So doing parachute is a more cool thing to do because you just you don't lose a lot of payload weight. So our second stage will not be recoverable because, in fact, if we want to recover our second stage, I think we will have to do a mini starship. But you know, it's physics. And then our kick stage, of course, will not be recoverable. But I think we can also give it a second life after its job completion, maybe turning it into satellite like Rocket Lab do. You know, hydrogen starts with a rocket, but we want to help people that just have the ID, space IDs, and we'll just want to help them getting their ID to orbit and help them. So if we have to do the software behind their satellite, instrumentation, etc., we will do it. But it's a 10-year vision. But yeah. So this rocket can carry up to 2,900 kilograms to polar orbit. So it's not a small sat launcher. And I think it's one of the key things because if you want to decrease the rideshare cost a lot, you need to have a lot of satellite in it. And you know, when you see SpaceX with a rideshare with rideshare mission, which is called Transporter, you pay 1 million for your satellite, a little bit more because you have a lot of options like fueling, separation system, etc. But Falcon costs maybe around 35 million and 70 million. It's not a very public thing. So I think, yeah, we're doing a medium launcher and put a lot of CubeSats in it will help a lot. And of course, to make space attractive, you need to launch a lot. So our rocket is designed to be launched monthly, and we will scale it up when everything will be fine to weekly launch. So yeah, Alena features the latest innovation of the industry. So we talked about methane. We talked about why Metalogs. I will just answer your question even if I already answered it. Because methane. Oh no, I didn't. Sorry. So methane. When you reuse methane, you don't have any soot, and if you want to reuse efficiently rocket engine, you need to recover it the more in the more cleanest way possible. So that's why we use methane. There is no soot. We don't have a lot of cleanings. Just recharge the battery, static fire it again, and it's and let's go for another flight. No, Alena is just a paper rocket. Right now we don't have hardware because we are still in fundraising. Do you have any idea on what Kickstage will look like yet? Yeah, so yes, I have in my head, but I can reveal or make speculation about it right now. Should maybe look into a collaboration for electric pumps. Yeah, so one of my competitor, which are friends also, well-established private rocket company in France, are currently using a contractor for their electric pumps. You know, I don't like having contractors because, you know, when I will shake the hand of a customer, I don't want to call him or her and say, okay, sorry, the rocket blew up and it's not our fault, it's the fault of our customer, of our contractor, sorry. No, I want to be 100 confident and to our future customers and say, okay, this is you have visited the factory, you see how it works, and so be confident right now because you see the team and you don't have to be you don't have to travel across the Europe or even worldwide to get to see each part of your rocket. Methane is good for carbon cleaning. Yeah, that's right. So a Kickstage to allow more precise orbits. So again, this is a very cool feature about our rocket. It's because it's a medium-sized rocket launcher. We can provide each customer a specific orbit. So right now, if you are a customer, you just have to come with it to us and say, okay, I want this orbit. And we will give you this exact orbit with the same inclination, the same perigee as you want, the same apogee as you want, etc., etc. Because you have science mission that need specific orbit, and so even if it's a prototype, we can give you a good service. And I think it's one of the key features of hydrogen is to make space cheaper, but not make the services terrible. Okay, you will pay a lot less, but we want to give you a very good customer services. So this rocket is designed for reuse, as I said. Yeah. What ASP are you wanting to achieve for the Metalox engine? Don't know yet. Still in technical study, but again, around what is currently done by our competitors across the world. Okay, so that's one of the cool features that we have. So our rocket is designed to be launched from everywhere, but we will not do, I think, a mobile launch pad because, but the goal of hydrogen is to be worldwide. Hydrogen is in fact, so why hydrogen is called hydrogen is not because of our propellant. It's because we want to be, we'll just remove that, sorry. Gonna be a lot more cool. between in launch and general. Are you assuming that your launch cadence will be that high that engine refurbishment will cost? And so hydrogen is the most common element in the universe, and our goal is not to be an European company or a worldwide company. Yes, it's to be a worldwide company, sorry. In fact, we want to Alena Ivy, in my head, maybe on April 1st. Maybe, Sebastian, I don't know. But we want to, we don't want to be, okay, an European company or a French company, or we want to launch worldwide and to serve worldwide customers. So if let's say it's for Brexit, right now the United Kingdoms are currently working with a space agency to launch their own satellite, because right now they can't use European satellites. In fact, they spend millions, and let's say not billions, in Galileo, and they can't use it for their missile. And the goal of Galileo is also civil, but it's also a military. It's to not depend of the US in terms of missile track. And so our goal is to go to maybe our goal is to imagine if someone or a country wants our capability, we can say, okay, we will do sub-GRE, so hydrogen aerospace England, hydrogen aerospace United States, and so we will directly support them. So basically, the National Reconnaissance Office is very strict on how the stuff is made, and because of ITA. So, for example, we can go say hello to the NRO and say, okay, don't worry, your rocket will be made in USA. Even if it's a French design, your rocket will be done in a US-based factory with US employee and launched on a US launch pad. So it's a very big vision, but if our customers want it and they also pay for it, there is no problem. So our rocket needs to be capable to be launched from everywhere. So basically, our rocket can be launched from tropical, snowy, or windy environment. So when I say windy, of course, not during a storm. I don't want to turn my rocket into a proton rocket, but that's the goal, is to launch from almost everywhere in the world, to support all countries and allies needs. Thus, the complexity of developing methane engine was the schedule risk and additional budgetary strains since it's a startup. Well, no, I don't think so, because right now, if you take a look at Relativity Space, which is a US-based company, you will see that their only engine are a methane engine. And it's also the same for a Chinese company, Landspace, I think. So doing a methane engine on your when you start, it's not that hard. It's part of our R&D. And in fact, you can say the same thing for Rocket Lab, because they've done carbon fiber tanks, they've done the first electric turbo pumps. So there is a lot of R&D behind Electron, and they were a startup at that time. So I think, no, it's not an issue right now to use a methane engine, and because in fact our first engine we will work on a dev engine at the beginning, and it will be in fact our kickstage engine. So it's gonna be the most easiest engine we will do. And so we start small to grow big. How many employees do you have as of right now? So right now, I'm currently alone in Hydrogen as employee, but we will hire quickly. It's also depending on our fundraising. Basically, our first fundraising will be 100% dedicated to office, employees, and also furniture, etc., etc. Yes, so I saw your question, Astragal, and it's maybe the most coolest question, because this rocket is black, but you know, carbon fiber is super cool. But using carbon fiber, it's cool because it's lightweight, but it costs a lot. So using stainless steel is a very cheap and very common material. So I think this rocket I don't know yet. This rocket will maybe use stainless steel, will maybe use carbon fiber. But if we use stainless steel, thermal engineer will want to kill me, but I think we can do a painting that is well efficient to not warm the tank if the rocket is black. What is the cost for the entire rocket? So it's all, I will give you a goal of what range of price we want for a dedicated launch, but it's a very pessimistic price. We want to be able to launch a dedicated mission for 25 million euros. But let's be 100% honest, sorry, it will be a lot more, really, because we a lot less, sorry, a lot less. Yeah, still tank. Yeah, so that's why carbon fiber is considered. But again, as we are early in this development, if we choose, stainless steel, we just have to put more trust into our rocket engine. So that's not an issue at that time. Okay, so our choice, as I said, is to help medium satellite market, because I want to help CNES, NASA, or science agency to get more science mission in space, because in fact I think we need science everywhere right now. We have a lot of climate change, a lot of people that want to try things in space. Because we are humanity is just very curious. Science is important, really. So that's why medium satellite market, and because in fact we want also to support maybe military also, and CubeSat, because we are currently working to reduce the cost of access to space. So you just have to divide, and I will just switch to that. But in fact, our fairing is very big. If you take a look, it's almost half, even more, the height of the first stage. So that's our goal. It's a big fairing because we want to put a lot of satellite in it, and also we can even do, I think, a 4-meter version of this fairing too. So that's a very key feature. Are you going to use additive manufacturing for your engine or for other part of the... Okay, so I think, and Astragal will agree, I think, with me, because if you saw the Chris Camp interview, 3D printing is really great. I'm a big 3D printing advocate since I'm in school, so maybe 6 years ago. I already wanted to 3D print a full printer, but in fact, doing a 3D print for the full rocket is just it's just very difficult because you have a lot of research and development to make your rocket printer very effective and clean. And also this is according to Chris Kemp one of the most expensive solution to do a rocket. And in fact, you know, I saw that 3D print will help a lot to increase launch frequency. But when I see Relativity Space, they took maybe 5-10 days to just 3D print a tank. So I don't know, 3D print. So we will do 3D printing for our rocket engine, but and for complex parts, but really we want we will stay in a classic classic way to do rocket. And as I said to CNES, in front of CNES, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. So I don't know if you know this expression, but in France is you know, you can't reinvent a wheel. It's a random thing. So that's the same thing for rocket. We don't want to do a lot of R&D behind our rocket. We just want to take things that work, that are successful in the industry, and merge all this idea into a we want to take, sorry, I just looked at the chat. We want to take all the best way to all the innovation that are great and merge them into one rocket to make it cheaper, affordable, and mass producible. What's the size of this rocket? So even bigger than Vega, approximately 2.5 wide in diameter, 2.5 meters. But I can give you how tall it is because it's still in technical study. So yeah, that's why additive manufacturing is great for engine because rocket, you know, injectors, combustion chamber with cooling channel are horrible to manage with classic methods. So using 3D printing will just decrease a lot and the cost and time to produce one engine. And so, as I said to the jury, our next step is to raise money, funding to hire 4 engineers. So you know, you don't even can imagine how I can wait to hire 4 people. So a propulsion engineer, simulation engineer, and a 3D print expert. So 4 people, maybe I forgot one, to do our first rocket engine. And basically our goal is to go quickly, really. We want to make to go fast because we can basically do it fast. And that's it. So I will answer all your questions, and if you have, and that's it for all the presentation. So again, a big thanks to all the people that I talked today at Space Connect, all journalists, space CEOs, employees, even some competitors of the contest that where I was, because I don't remember if you know them, maybe not. Winned the won the space concept so the pitch contest basically, and really they deserve it a lot, because in fact so they do antennas tracking station, you know, around the world. They are very kind, and in fact yeah, I got their numbers, and I will discuss a lot with them in the future, because we are all in the same boat. The space industries is a very close, a little family, you know, so that's great. Oh, and my Mac is in dark mode right now. Perhaps some info on your company so far. How many employees? So for employees right now, I am alone, but that's not because it's a bad thing to be alone. I think being the lowest people possible in a company is great, because you will have a lot of efficiency. So right now, of course, I need engineers, so that's why we are currently in fundraising to basically in order to hire our first engineer. But again, we will be 4 or 5 in the next months, and we will work on our first rocket engine, and it's not going to be a 20, 30 or 70 team. At the beginning, I don't need that much people. I like when things are small, because it's the best way to, with a small team, to get all their ideas, etc. So I will answer all your questions, so feel free to ask them. If I didn't, so I will answer all your questions starting by now. So if you already asked your question, you can repost it into the chat. And so, yeah, again, thanks for even the Space Connect team, because it was a great event today. And, you know, even if I didn't won the pitch contest, really the support of the jury was just amazing. Their feedback was just incredibly kind. They were amazed by how much progress I made alone. And that's also the strength of hydrogen. You know, we have a big bonding, we have great communication, we are going fast, because hydrogen is in fact 3 months old, really. And it's because all of people that are helping us right now. What about the possible insight? So it will depend also on the partnerships, of course, but I think Sutherland in England is a great location. Andoya in Norway, and maybe Kourou in France, French Guiana, and maybe one in US for US-based customers. So why is the rocket black? Because black is good. No, really. If it's for carbon fiber, it's because it's carbon fiber. If it's because it's black, because we use stainless steel, it's because just black is sexy, right? You know, our rocket is not the we not require a lot of research of development compare because we don't have a lot of innovation, yes, to do to make things compared to a lot of well-established companies. So we can make fun things with our rocket. So is the kick stage more of an orbital maneuvering kick stage of more? No, it's a maneuvering kick stage, yes. That's its function. It's to help for space maneuvers. So our kick stage will be deployed in orbit. So something similar to Rocket Lab and a launcher with orbiter and light. Thanks you for sharing all with us. Yeah, so my goal with hydrogen is to make people dream and you know, because in yes, I think thermal engineer will be a lot angry, but I think, yeah, we can do a black color that didn't warm the tank. But again, my goal why I do hydrogen is to allow more science mission with CNES, help startup develop infrastructures for startups, and to make Europeans and even other country dreams, because you know, I love space since my childhood, and I think we need to dream in Europe. And in fact, it's very sad to say that, but yeah, Ariane 5, Ariane 6 didn't make people dream, and it's not because it's Ariane Group or Ariane 5. It's because in France we don't care about space, and I think it's just very sad, because you know, when Ariane 1 was launched, or even some mission in some launch, like the first launch or the maiden flight of Ariane 5 was in live. It was broadcasted live on TV. You will never see this again with Ariane 5. So, and even, you know, sometimes on TV I saw Soyuz, but not Ariane 5. No, maybe some Falcon, a lot of starships, of course. Yeah, I think we can make people dream, help students, help future inventors, future businessmen, future CEO, because yeah, as I said, I started with one. I wanted to do a CubeSat, and I was somehow stuck by the price. Best of luck to you. Thanks. So if you have another question, feel free to ask. Again, if you are on Periscope or Twitter, join us in YouTube, because I will not be able to see your comments. No, don't worry. I'm not someone that give up easily. I never give up, in fact. And you know, I think to be a good CEO, you need to be somehow crazy. You know, when I said to my mom, what is the targeted thrust of the engine? I can't reveal you this because in fact it's still in technical study. Sorry. So I don't have any. I can give you a range. It's yeah, I think maybe around Falcon 9 engine maybe. But yeah, it's not gonna be an engine like Rutherford. It's gonna be a big engine. Thanks, Astro already. And yeah, you know, when you are a space hero, you need to be somehow crazy. When I told my mother, okay, I will pitch in front of space leaders, including Vice President Business of CNES, she was, oh my God, what are you doing? uh, and I regret, I have no regrets. So today was an amazing day, really. Their feedback was amazing. I made a lot of contacts, even weakness, and that's great things. It's to, you know, when you do a rocket, you need funding, you need, of course, venture capital, but you need also government support. And having CNES in my phone is a very good way to start because you need government support. If you don't have the government support, even with 1 billion, you will do nothing. So that's a great way. Talk with government agency and also venture capital. And customers, of course, I talked a lot with potential customers. Missed a lot of them because I was very busy today. Well, but I will give them a message because, you know, our goal is not to say, hello, do you want to buy our super rocket that is on paper today? No, it's to say, okay, what do you want from a launch provider? And even if they want party balloon, that's an idea. And getting feedback from everywhere is the best way to do your project, is to have customers' feedback before you do it. Hi, I'm the Scratch. So I will tweet a little. I will tweet on this one. Well done for your presentation. Oh, so I didn't have the time to congratulate you, EPL, but really, when I saw the participants from to the pitch, I was like, okay, EPL, you are doing really great stuff. You will win this, and I knew that you before you pitch that you will win the hardware prize. So congrats. I didn't have the occasion to congrats you, but you are doing great work. What if you don't make the new era of space in Europe? But we will do. Never say no. Never say it's not possible, because you know, my mother is a very stressful person and said, you will never succeed to be even able to pitch in front of CNES. And I was able to pitch in front of CNES and space leaders. And at my young age, it's a big achievement, and I'm super happy for that, you know. Okay, so I will just tweet from hydrogen. So I will give you, let's say, in 5 or 10 minutes, I will have to go because I'm very tired. My legs are also somehow tired. Some electric pumps are yet in development by Kines and APL. Yes. Okay, didn't know that. That's great because I was sad that some space companies are using contractors to do their French companies are using subcontractors for the rocket engine. Of course, it's a business and strategic choice, but you know, I think we can be proud of France in terms of space. So I saw some question on Twitter. I will just browse some question on Twitter because I saw them. So this rocket is not intended to be crewed. It's not crewed capable because it needs a lot of research and development. So start small and go big. This rocket is not fully reusable because if you want to do a fully reusable rocket, you need to do a mini starship like Terran reusable. Really, it's just physics. Do you plan to use a booster on the rocket, making it multi-stage? Sooner or later? Okay, so I didn't understand this question, sorry. Purchase program, I don't know yet, but thanks for the advice. We'll take a look. So, any other question? Oh, okay. Roscosmos guy just sent me a tweet, so I will answer it. Oh, are you going to compete with other small sat launcher? It's really interesting. Or you are going to compete with Electron, crossover? Okay, that's why. You know, the small sat market is full, really. Doing a small sat launcher right now is, I think, a suicidal thing to do. So I will just go back to this and we'll show you. Our rocket is can lift up to 2,900 kilograms to polar orbit, and that's our key thing, key feature. It's that we are not only focusing on small sat, we are not focusing on medium satellite, we are focusing on both. And so that's why we can make a rocket affordable for rideshare and also compete into this full market because in fact, if you take a look right now, you have Neutron from Rocket Lab, and this rocket is so Rocket Lab has a small sat launcher and a medium satellite launcher. Relativity Space has a medium satellite launcher and a small sat launcher. So you know, it's a new trend, and it was in fact in progress when they just announced that when I founded Hydrogen. So I think doing these two trends in one rocket is a big strength because we don't have a lot of R&Ds. Doing two rockets is just a lot of money to have. You have to get money for both launch pad, maybe both engines. So being able to focus medium satellite and then help a lot CubeSats is one of our key feature. I will never get my question answered. Why is this rocket too powerful? Hi, Harry. So I hope Roscosmos guy, I answered your question. Yeah, but 3D printing is not that easy, really. In fact, you need a lot of research and development to do your 3D printer. And in fact, Relativity Space just spent, I think, half of their research and development into this printer. So 3D printing, not for the full rocket. I know dry mass, okay, but not at that time. Maybe on a brand new rocket, but I think if we clearly go into doing a rocket, a fully 3D printed rocket, it's just a suicidal thing for us, really. It will kill us because we need a lot of research and development. We need a lot of funds to develop 3D printer. So that's why. Well, like, actually, why does it look like the old Casper one? No, it didn't look like. Totally a brand new thing. So yes, if you don't have any other question, I leave you here. I will just conclude. But really, it's just the beginning. I know you are seeing a brand new rocket. You want to have a lot of technical details, but my goal is to be transparent when I work to hydrogen, when and where I can go to t-shirts. So I know a lot of people want an hydrogen shirt, but my goal is to do a great merch website, and I don't have the time yet, and I don't have, and so it will be done when we will be ready. I don't want to do cheap merch, really. So thanks for joining us tonight or today, depending on when where you are on Earth. And thanks for all your question, Willie. So as I said, it's only the beginning. I choose to be 100% transparent about what we are doing. So don't be disappointed because you will not see a lot of progress in the next few months. It's in fact because I need also rest because I had my exam, and because I talk about things only when they are done. So there is a lot of underground stuff. In fact, I didn't told all of hydrogen, of course, because we need to keep some secrets things. But don't be disappointed. This rocket will exist. I can swear. If not, I will hit my hat. We have an incredible support from the space industry, really. And yeah, that's the beginning. That's only the beginning. I prefer to be 100% transparent with you, talking about rocket, space, what we are doing now, and not being stealth. Yeah, don't worry, Adam. I'm not the kind to rest, really. But well, yeah, I said rest, but I will have no rest, of course. But yeah, don't worry, we are working very hard. And our first fundraising will be soon. We will hire soon. In fact, I already had some application. you know, today was a very great day because I had the opportunity to meet a lot of schools, and so today, in the future, we will have a lot of partnership with schools, French schools, to hire engineers. Really, when you say we, who is there on your team? So legally, I'm the only employer right now, but we have, let's say, maybe 3 or 4 people. But you know, it's a not employee; it's a contribution. And so right now we need engineers because I'm not an engineer. But you know, you can already define some details about your rocket and what your technical choice you want, without being an engineer, if you know well how rocket will work. And so that's why I didn't give you some numbers, thrust, length. I know the diameter because it's a strategic part, because I had to research how we can transport it. You know, there is a lot of hidden things that you need to think about when you do a rocket. And so, of course, you can already think about how your rocket will look by this technical choice. But yeah. So I think that all for today. Really, thanks for all the people that were on the stream. Thanks for all your questions. Feel free to ask your question on Twitter, Hydrogen Twitter, or mine. I will answer all your questions. And until our next webcast, have a good day.